Hi, welcome to the Marsh tonight. And by the Marsh, of course, I mean my home and the homes of some of the performers you're going to see here tonight. This is new work you'll be seeing, so that's a little bit of a miracle. A few months ago, none of what you're seeing here existed. Um, I wanted to mention that we noticed something about Zoom today that seemed different than it had been in the past. If Brianna, if you could turn on a share screen, um, if you could do the share screen, Brianna. So this image that you see here, if you are seeing a big blue screen with some words on it, excellent. If you are seeing a little blue screen with words on it and my big picture, then you might want to go up to the upper right-hand corner of your screen where it says view and click on that and make sure you're in what is called standard mode, not side-by-side speaker or gallery side-by-side. So you want to be in standard mode so that you get the nice effect of these title images, which allow you to know what's coming up next. And what is coming up next is our first performer tonight. This is Stacy Wynn in Terroir.
Was my father afraid of going to hell? He was raised a Southern Baptist, and they aren't exactly known for permissive theology. Then he became a Lutheran around age 19 when he dropped out of music conservatory at UOP to marry his first wife, Sandy. My sister was born 6 months later. They divorced, and 6 years later, he married my mother. My parents were also married in a Lutheran church, even though my mom's family was Catholic enough to have an actual nun in their ranks. But Dad's first marriage hadn't been annulled, you see. And Catholics are famously picky about that sort of thing. My sister was their flower girl. Dad tried to return to the Baptist church after his father died, but my mom teased him and he gave up on it. Years later, she was born again in nursing school, and he followed her back to Jesus. Then I was born the first time. I may never march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I may never march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. My first memories of religion read like a massive list of don'ts, mainly surrounding the media I was and wasn't allowed to consume. Mommy, can I watch the Smurfs? Oh, no, baby, too witchy. Care Bears? Too new aged. How about Star Wars? Oh, no, baby, that's too Eastern. What does Eastern mean? We'll talk about it later. But, Mommy, what does Eastern mean? We will talk about it. Mommy! Because I'm the mom, that's why. What about My Little Pony? I don't remember what exactly was wrong with My Little Pony, but it was verboten. We attended a vineyard church at that point, which stemmed from the neo-charismatic evangelical Christian movement that Jesus freak hippies created when they grew up. Oh, by the way, neo-charismatic just means that you are allowed to speak in tongues, but you are not contractually obligated to do so. John Wimber was the leader of the denomination, and he's famously a loosey-goosey cool guy. He was a member of the Righteous Brothers before they were the Righteous Brothers. and he was very focused on the music. He just wanted people to come in and like vibe with the Holy Spirit. So they weren't really big on doctrine or dogma, which made our whole congregation's obsession with children's television programming a little confusing. But hey, it's the 80s now. The acid trips have worn off and the satanic panic is in full force. To be honest, I don't know how much of my mom's concern about demons came from the Vineyard as an organization. Our particular pastor, Pastor Rick, who had a son I had a horrible crush on, or Dr. Dobson, or some other Christian talk radio personality. But we had to be very careful about things that could create openings. Things that could open the door for evil spirits or generational curses or communism. Cartoons? Opening. Yoga? Opening. Ouija boards? Science class? Sex stuff? Openings. My parents lived in a dream home nestled in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, perched on a hillside on Camino Heights Drive, with a nearly panoramic view of the Sacramento Valley below. The vineyard was focused on church planting. They did a lot with the whole grape motif. So when Pastor Rick said they were planting a church down the hill, my parents sold the dream house and followed him to Sacramento, to the sad brown house on Talisman Drive. I don't think their marriage ever really recovered. Dear Jesus, I ask you into my heart. I believe that you died for my sins and God rose you from the dead. And please forgive my sins so I can go to heaven with you forever and ever. Amen. Did I do it right, Mommy? I don't remember much about Pastor Rick. He had this wavy white hair and a son named Matthew who I thought I would marry someday. But we were just satellites orbiting the church elliptically through seasons of closeness and distance, but the sun was always the same. Sacramento was, even then, a sprawling suburbia. The church's temporary home was in an office building in Citrus Heights right off of Sunrise Boulevard. And I remember there were these huge circular windows in the shared area between the offices, and the sunlight would just shine down on us while we sat in the atrium for Sunday school. My dad was on the worship team, on the keyboard, and my mom ran sound. The family joke was my little brother absorbed his musicality in utero, as my mom swayed to the music during services and rehearsals. It was the late 80s now. They created a parody video of some Run DMC song, and it ended in a baptism by water in the bathroom, a full bucket just right over somebody's head. And I just thought it was so freaking cool. It was full on Christian mysticism. There was a woman, Ramona, who would write out prophecies for us on yellow legal pads. She'd approach the parents. The Lord gave me a word for Stacy. She is starlight, destined to bring Jesus' light into dark places. When my brother Brian was born, Brian is strong oak, planted firmly next to the waters of God. He will endure a storm and he will not fall, for his roots are deep. And then she would pass the yellow paper on to the parents and wait for God to speak again. The congregation eventually settled in a converted warehouse near Highway 50. The sanctuary was larger then, with room for a dance ministry. Beautiful young women who would dance in long white dresses with crimson sashes and flowers in their hair, bringing grace to lyrics about military conquest. With the high praises of God in our mouths and a two-edged sword in our hand, we will march on the powers and princes of hell. Their defenses will not stand. Singing praise, praise, praise to the Lord. Praise, praise, praise to the Lord. Praise, praise, praise to the Lord. The battle is in his hands. speaking in tongues, casting out demons, physical healings. These were the signs and wonders Wimber focused on. I had a t-shirt with the church slogan on it, doing the stuff, with all these little handprints silk-screened on the text. As children, we were taught to intercede, to lay hands on people in prayer. It was a healing ministry. I have power over sickness, over demons. I'm a warrior. I have a destiny. It was absolutely intoxicating. Next, we moved to a gray house with dark gray trim on Hartzell Way. My mom enrolled me in the local mega church's preschool, Capital Christian Center. It was on the other side of Highway 50 from the Vineyard, and I stayed there with a short interruption through high school graduation. Choosing that preschool changed the course of all our lives, but when I was slapping around campus in my white Huarache sandals, I just liked the stucco and the nice teachers and the green doors and the way the rooms always smelled slightly of apple juice and graham crackers. My mom was a nurse, but she had longed to be a homeschooling, stay-at-home mom for as long as I could remember. It was presented as the ideal of motherhood in fundamentalist circles, the ultimate Proverbs 31 woman. By the time I got to the third grade, she had her chance. She hurt her back in the ICU one night and never recovered. The church told them not to be litigious, so she refused to sue, even though she had grounds. So she accepted a transfer instead to a job that she was ill-suited for and ended up leaving the workforce for a time. This was understandably pretty hard for my father to stomach, as he was about 20 years into a career as a workers' compensation executive at that point. He felt so many people abused the system. And here's his wife with an ironclad case she simply refused to pursue. So she pulled my brother and I out of Capital to homeschool us. She'd never been awfully domestic, and the loss of her income was a big deal. But we thrifted and we used homemade Play-Doh, and they steadily accumulated debt. Oh, but we also got to go to Massachusetts when I was studying the American Revolution, visiting my grandparents who lived in Lowell. They were well versed in walking guests along the Freedom Trail. We stayed in an RV beside the house, the one Pops and Nana drove around the US when she was diagnosed with terminal pancreatic cancer in her mid-50s. Yeah, they got her prognosis and they just hit the road because there was more she wanted to see. My dad came out after we'd already been there for a few weeks, and I'm assuming my parents were excited to reconnect. Mommy? No, I don't want to sleep in that bed. Sweetheart, Mommy and Daddy need to sleep in here tonight. I can't sleep in that bed. Oh, why not? That was Nana's bed, and she died. Well, she didn't die in that bed, babe. Yeah, but she died. I was afraid of ghosts, so I slept in with Mom in the RV, and my dad slept in the house. He was furious with her. We returned home, and while we were gone, Dad had cleaned the whole house, top to bottom, down to the vacuum tracks and the orange shag carpet. Cleaning had always kind of been a hot button issue for them. He opens the door. See, he says with a shit-eating grin. It isn't that hard. And I watched my mom slowly implode. When there's no one fucking here. That was the first time I ever heard her say the F word. He asked for a divorce shortly after. I'm unclear if they patched things up for a while after that or if they were just doing the groundwork for the divorce. My mom got a job, Dad's drinking escalated, and my brother and I re-enrolled at Capital partway through the year. I was a little behind on fractions, but otherwise I seem to have escaped homeschooling no worse for the wear. She was working night shift as a telephone nurse at this point, so she'd call on her lunch break. Matthew's residence, Stacy speaking. Hey kiddo, it's Mom. How are things going? It's fine. I read Brian a story. Ah, I see. Thanks for letting me know. What are you doing for dinner? Pretty innocuous stuff, except I read a story was actually code for Daddy came home reeking of alcohol again. He always used these special alcohol breath mints that came in a blue box or certs in a pinch, but I could still tell. When she was working nights, it became my job to wake him up to take us to school. I'd put a towel on the foot of the bed. Good morning, Daddy. And he'd sit up, bleary-eyed, trying to get body and soul together before dragging himself to the shower. I don't think anybody actually gave me that job, but it needed to be done, so I did it. My dad was a happy drunk, except for when he wasn't. You must learn to enunciate your syllables. He was lavish with performance notes. You are so beautiful and so smart, and you aren't going to have to work as hard as other people. He was lavish with terrible advice. Someday soon, you're gonna grow little boobies, and I won't be able to talk to you like this anymore. But you'll always be my little princess. He was whatever the fuck that was. Around this time, we left the congregation because Pastor Rick was breaking with the Vineyard, which would now make them non-denominational, neo-charismatic, evangelical Christians, I think. He was encouraging members to sign pledges about personal conduct and media consumption, and it was just getting a bit too culty at that point, even for my parents. Around that time, I got into Dad's nightstand, looking for lunch money. Mom, I found something. What is it? It's this. A matchbook from a strip club called Tail Feathers. The girl on the cover was a red silhouette with swooshing feathers obscuring her naughty bits. Not exactly something you'd find on Pastor Rick's behavior contract. Thanks, Stacy. I'll take care of it. He swore up and down he'd bummed them off a friend, but she wasn't convinced. I don't remember much about their fights, just moments. The moment she stopped combing my hair, ran down the hall, and locked herself in the bedroom. Elizabeth! Elizabeth! Dad was knocking. Elizabeth, you have to get to work. The moment he got into my face after she confronted him about the alcohol. Stacy, your mother says you have a problem with my drinking. I do. I knew way too much about the divorce. I'm a terrible father. I'm a terrible father. No, Daddy. You're a good dad. You're a good dad. It's called parentification, when the kid is providing support they aren't developmentally ready for, and I got it from both of them. By the time they were finally doing a trial separation, I already knew it was coming. My brother Brian walked into my room crying. Mommy and Daddy have something sad to tell us. He was in kindergarten and utterly heartbroken. And I felt so smug in comparison. sophisticated adult in the know. After all, I was about to turn 13.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Carol, whatever possessed you to go on this trip? Armchair camping is one thing, but look at this ramshackle cabin. You know, you're not your father. Really, Mom? From the grave? Well, I may not be Dad, but I'm not you either. Yeah, staying in a shack in bear country is not exactly my thing, but I've got this. I've got to do it. All these women are published authors. Those are good connections for me. Mom, do you think it's fun being trapped here with a bunch of women who look like they've spent every cent of their alimony on Lululemon? I like Lululemon, but for camping? And why is there a soup pot in this cabin? Well, it's only a weekend. It's nature. How hard can it be? Tell me one thing nature ever did for me. Now, Carol, be careful on the way to lunch. There are bears out there. Mom, do you want me to be so terrified I never leave the cabin? Just like you never left the house? I have to do this, I can do this, and I am gonna do this. I know what to do if I see a bear. Scare him off by making myself look big. Wait, is that for bears? Shoot him. Shoot him, that's what I'd do. That bear in Alaska was charging right at me from 50 yards, but bam, I got him one shot. Dad, are you still telling that story? In the afterlife? Oh, Sam, you peed your pants when you saw that bear. It's a wonder you hit it at all. Did you? Or did your guide shoot it? What are you talking about, Sandy? I'm not afraid of any bear, and of course I shot it. And why must there be a bear rug in my beautiful living room? Oh, that thing gave me nightmares. Animals don't belong in the house, even dead ones. That rug's a trophy. You know, Dad, you don't have to kill every wild animal you see. Of course you do. They could attack you, but a zoo's fine. Mom, zoos are awful. I mean, I don't want to run into a bear, but I don't want them to be caged either. Or to live in the cage you want me to live in. I don't have to be afraid just because she is. Okay, what was it again? Make noise to keep bears away. And if one appears, don't turn your back. Walk backwards and talk calmly to them. Hello, bear. I'm just walking. What if one sees me and knows that I grew up with a dead bear in my living room and wants revenge? Shouldn't we have armed game wardens to walk us to lunch? Okay, I gotta go down there, so I'll make some noise. The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain. Carol, don't pretend you're not afraid. You'd be less afraid if you had a gun. Down at the farmhouse, everyone's gathered around the outdoor table. Phyllis is so excited she can't contain herself. So, did you hear the bear? The bear? How wonderful, Phyllis, a bear. That's Jackie with a Q. She was a beauty queen, so she's got a body that can actually pull off athleisure. She passes me a pitcher of lemonade, totally unconcerned about the bear. But see, they are out here. One was rustling around outside my cabin a while ago, so I peeked out the window. What a gorgeous creature. So majestic. Which cabin are you in, Phyllis? Right next door to you, Carol. Did you hear it? No, I didn't. Weren't you afraid they'd break down the door? Carol, they won't bother you if you don't bother them. Goodness, it's camping. Just part of the fun. Right, it is. You should have brought a gun. Oh, stop, Sam. She's not here to hunt. Not bear, anyway. Oh, I wish I'd seen him. Well, Jackie, I'm glad I didn't. Bless your heart. Don't be nervous, Carol. Here, aren't these BLTs delicious? Everything's grown and made right here on the farm, even the bacon. You mean those cute little pigs we saw on the way in? Yes. I'm eating baby piglet. Jackie, can you pass me the salad again? It's not that I'm vegetarian. I just like a little distance from my meat. I don't want to be admiring it at the fence in the morning and then eating it later for lunch. It's nature, Carol. You kill it, you eat it. Dad, we're not living in the wild. We do not have to kill our food. But you've eaten game and liked it. Well, that year he went to Montana hunting, I wasn't having that game in my freezer. I threw it out, all of it. I told him he was eating it. Elk meatballs, elk lasagna. That's horseshit, Sandy. It was elk. I know it when I taste it. Hey guys, this is actually my story. Can we get back to it? Jackie with a Q hands me the salad. Carol, you must not camp much. Not too much. It's fun, isn't it? Well, Jackie, to tell you the truth, on my vacations, I'm usually relaxing in a jacuzzi in a 5-star hotel. Carol? He's right. It won't kill you to pretend for the weekend. Then get the hell out of there. Bless your heart. You don't camp. I'm surprised. Yeah, well, I'm surprised that a former beauty queen thinks camping is such a blast. No, Jackie, it's fun. Nature is fantastic. So, you've had your second bestseller? Is it hard to put yourself out in the public eye? I mean, everyone's got an opinion. Just the idea of being so exposed scares me. Well, honey, it has its challenges. Even after so many books? Well, I used to be afraid too. Things turned around for me when I realized that I had to take risks and show my vulnerability in my writing. So you need to push through that fear, darling. I don't think that's such a good idea, Carol. It sounds like you're pretty vulnerable right here in this camp. They have already seen a bear. Mom, do you want me to live my life in fear of everything? After lunch, I walk across a field to some Adirondack chairs where women are reading. Well, the this is nice. What's that? Is there something out here? It must be my imagination. No one else has even noticed. Okay. Jackie, did you hear that? Hear what? I didn't hear anything. Okay. I think about the bear rug and the snarl on its face. And all of a sudden it gets up off the floor and it comes after me. Oh my God! Is this how my life ends? Eaten by a bear? Oh. It's just a dream, Carol. I used to have them all the time. I hated that bear rug. Well, I liked it. Sam, that is just not normal. Hey, Carol, it's time for dinner. I'm going to go on down. God, already? Jackie's walking to the farmhouse as if it were a runway and she'd just gotten crowned queen of the outdoors. On my way to the dinner table, I run into a woman who looks like Mariana Leclerc, the famous author. Oh my God, it is. She wrote Embers of Love. It was an Oprah pick. It sold 2 million copies. And she is strolling down the dirty, dusty trail, fully made up, false eyelashes and all. She's dressed for dinner in a crisp white shirt and pressed white pants. Oh, not just white, pristine white, immaculate white, Neiman Marcus white. Really? Are we yachting on the Mediterranean? Is this what best-selling authors in California wear camping? And she's got on white mules with tiny kitten heels. She grabs my arm. Oops, almost stepped in that bear scat. Oh my God, the bear was that close. I knew I heard something. Oh, now I've stepped in it. God knows what horrible disease I could get. I would have shot it, and we'd have had a rug for the family room, too. Sam, that would have been the last straw. I looked down at my brand new LL Bean hiking boots and her Prada mules. How does she know about bear scat? What is it I don't get about camping? Why would anyone dress for dinner in the woods? David Ford says this is not strange, but then he lives in Marin. I'm sure they think I'm a total baby. They're never going to want to see me again, much less give me advice. Why did I come here? Mariana falls in step beside me, but I am riveted to her mules. How does she manage to walk on the trail in a slide? Carol, I wonder if I can run an idea by you. Maybe she wants to collaborate. Some of the surgeons in my husband's practice are coming for dinner next week. And since the party is on the autumnal equinox, I'd like to put a fun question about the equinox on each place card, you know, for each person to answer aloud. What do you think? That's what she wants? Is there such thing as a fun question about any equinox? No, there is not. But that would certainly be a night to remember, wouldn't it? I think it would be interesting. What a great idea, Mariana. Okay, that is so bizarre. How is it these girly girls love camping? I thought I might be missing something, but am I the normal one? At dinner, Jackie sits next to me. Do you have kids, Carol? No, I don't. Oh, you don't. Oh. Of course she has children. She's probably got 2.5 perfectly groomed little Southerners. From the other end of the table, I hear, if it's not natural, it's not real childbirth. Labor was hard. I can't believe how much my vagina stretched. Well, they wanted to give me drugs, but no way. And of course, I had to avoid an episiotomy, but no one mentioned that doing perineal massage would have stretched things out. Oh my God. Is she really talking about massaging her asshole at the dinner table? Do I care how long it took someone to push out their 13-pound baby boy? Oh, Carol, in my day, we never pushed. They knocked us out. No muss, no fuss, no pain. Natural childbirth is overrated, like nature. Jackie, where's the wine? Oh, honey, it's a dry weekend. I look longingly at the dark trail back to my cabin, but I know that bear is just biding its time. Carol, if you had a gun, it wouldn't be an issue. No, I'll wait for the first group of women to be ready to go, and I'll go with them. Oh, they're singing show tunes. They're nowhere near ready.
Some enchanted evening.
Yeah, it's time for this enchanted evening to end. Every rainbow till
You find
my dream is to get the fuck out of here. Are they doing the hand sign? Come on, Carol, do it with us.
Everybody's doing a
Brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. All the songs we grew up with. This is fun. Whoa. Whoa. Finally, we all stroll out through the night singing.
When the night
Has come and the moon is dark
and the moon
is the only light we'll see. Finally. Boy, it was dark out there and quiet. Never heard so much quiet. But I'm exhausted. Where is it? There it is. Jiminy Cricket. Maybe it'll stop if I throw something over it. Would I have bad luck if I killed it? Oh, shut up! Oh, I can't kill it. I don't want to hear it crunch and then have to look at its crushed body all weekend. I can't do it. Earplugs, yes. Who's there? Is there something out there? Oh God, do I have to pee? Oh my God. I can't go out there. I'd just be that bear's midnight snack. I can hold it. No, I can't. Why didn't I bring Depends? Oh, this must be a chamber pot. It's small. Well, I'm not going out there. It looks clean. So how does this work? Do I squat all the way down to the floor? Ow, God, it's a leg cramp. No. Okay, maybe if I hold it just halfway up. It's not like this is intuitive. Would it have killed them to have provided an instruction sheet? Okay. All right, got it. Oh my God! Oh my God! Come here! Oh no, 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 no. No, no, you stay right there. Do not come in here. No, no. Oh, jeez. No, stay there. She got a piece. Oh my God. You stay right there. Do not come in here. Go away. Go away. Okay. All right. No, no, no. Stay away. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. God. Wait a minute, Carol. Animals have a keen sense of smell. Make sure that pot is covered. It's covered. Relief. Carol, that was a close call. You might not be so lucky next time. Shut up, Mom. One more day. Today wasn't so bad. Tonight was actually a lot of fun. And the moon is the only light we'll see. Now I won't be afraid. No, I won't
be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand.
Hey. Hey.
for Robin.
Yay.
January 2007, San Francisco. I'm standing at the bathroom sink, scrubbing poop out of a mouse tunnel. It's 1:20 in the morning, and I have 26 essays to grade and a stack of bills to pay, but I'm trapped at the sink. How did I end up here? What's that? Stacy? Chris? Huh, they're both in bed, asleep. I could swear I saw a flash of orange in the hall. I should go to bed, but I can't. Here's a picture of my kids, Christopher, 11, and Stacy, 9. I look tired, don't I? I'm smiling, but it's the smile of someone who's been punched too many times. Can you see what's in the crook of Stacy's arm? It's a little white mouse. And on her shoulder, do you see the tail? Another mouse. When Christopher and Stacy and I moved into this house a few weeks ago, Stacy said, "It's really hard living in two houses, dragging our stuff back and forth twice a week. I'd feel a lot better if we had a pet at this house. Can we have a dog?" "No dog." "How about a cat?" "No, I'm sorry, honey, no cat." "Well, can we at least have a little mouse?" "A mouse?" "Yeah, Kevin brought his white mouse to show and tell today, and it was really, really cute. It rides around in his pocket." "Do you promise you'll feed it and clean the cage?" "I promise." Does this sound familiar? At the pet shop, Chris and Stacy talked me into buying 2 mice and 2 luxury mouse condos connected by a lavender tunnel. On the way home, the kids named the mice Pippi and Zippy. Pippi and Zippy are guilt pets, divorce guilt pets. 3 months ago, when Joanne and I split up, she paid me my 25% of our equity in the house and said, "You could buy a mobile home in Novato, maybe in that senior community where Sandy lives. She commutes to the city." "Novato? No, I'm not leaving the children." "You could have the children on weekends. Rent in the city is ridiculous, and buying a house here is impossible." "Oh, yeah?" I can't believe what happened afterward. I applied for a jumbo loan, and they gave it to me, a single 60-year-old community college instructor. I'll be 90 by the time I pay it off. I can never retire. And I'm so worried about keeping up with my mortgage payments that I've taken on an extra class this semester, an overload. And now I'm way behind at work. I promised to hand back these essays last Friday, and I haven't even started on them. I don't think I can do this. My skin is tingling. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up. What's that reddish brown reflection in the window? It's not me. I'm wearing a burgundy shirt. It's not actually on the window. It's between the window and the dining table. It looks three-dimensional, like a hologram. It looks like a fox, like a tall fox. Why are you here? I've come to help you. Nobody can help me. I feel like a dropped baby. I really believed that Joanne and I would be lovers forever, but she's already got a girlfriend, Layla. Layla's moving in. What day is today? January 31st. Layla's already moved into the house in Noe Valley where Joanne and I lived for 15 years. The house that I found for us. And now I'm trapped in a huge mortgage and buried under mouse poop. When it rains hard, like it has every day this week, water leaks into the garage and ruins everything in the cardboard boxes. And I don't have time to unpack them. A lot's going on. Try to relish it because, you know, you chose this adventure. I did not choose this. It's all good. You're getting exactly what you came for. How would you know that? I was there when you signed on. No, I did not sign on to be a single mother at 60. You'll understand soon. But for right now, just consider the possibility that you selected the entire scenario, including the divorce, and that is perfect, just the way it is. Right. Perfect. The tingling on my neck is escalating to an intense buzzing. It moves up and down my body. I'm rising, and so is the fox. I look down and see my body slumped on the dining table. Am I dying? No, you'll be back before the children wake up. Where are we going? I've lifted the veil so you can go back and see how you ended up here. Now I'm zooming through a kaleidoscope of whirling lights. I hear Fox's voice from far away. Don't worry, it will all come back to you, just like riding a bicycle. I've landed, if you want to call it that. I don't have any weight. There's no gravity. I seem to be in line, but how can I keep my place in line when I'm floating all over the place? Oh, wait, Fox is right. It is coming back to me. Here on the astral plane, my body goes where I put my attention. I remember why I'm in this line. I put in a request for a new lifetime on the earth plane. I'm asking to be born as the elder son in a cheerful, wholesome family. I'd prefer to spend my next life in a gentle, graceful culture, maybe Bali if there are any openings. When I get to the front of the line, I see why it moves so slowly. The placement counselor I've been assigned to can barely see over the huge stack of files on the desk. The nameplate on the desk says Terry. I don't whine about how long I've stood in line. Terry already looks miserable, and on the astral plane, like the earth plane, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. What a workload you have. I'm wrecked. This week harks me back to my days behind the counter at the DMV. Why is it so backed up? I've never seen a line this long. Soldiers. World War II just ended. Most of them died young, and loads of them can't wait to get back into the game. Well, I hope the pressure lets up soon. I say this warmly, but with a touch of let's move on now, shall we? Terry opens my file. I see my request for placement on top of the other papers. I have nothing available in Bali. Those placements are snatched up like hotcakes. Oh, rats. Well, what similar placements are available? Zilch for elder son in a wholesome, cheerful family. I'm guessing the wait for those slots will be 3 to 5 years. Earth years or astral years? Astral. Oh no, I really want to get going. I'm hoping to finish off all my karma in my next lifetime so I can move on across the upper astral plane, through the causal plane, into Sachkhand, where there is no more karma, just love. Well, you know that trying to finish all your karma in one lifetime is a tall order. Yeah, but with the right placement, I'm sure I can do it. Please just find me a good one so I can get started. I've procrastinated on this for centuries. And if I don't do it now, I don't know when I'll get my nerve up again. Well, all the openings that are expected in the next 6 months have already been filled. Seriously? That's what happens after a major war. I'm getting a telepathic message from the person behind me in line. I'm not sure, but I believe it's something like, wind it up, jerk. We're all waiting. I should probably give up and come back another day and get a different counselor. I don't feel that Terry is putting much effort into this. A green light is blinking on a monitor on the desk. Terry flips a switch and reads the information on a screen. Wow, this might be your lucky day. Somebody just bailed on their placement, and somebody just bailed on their placement just hours before expected birth time. Are you interested? You bet I am. Where's the family? Rural Idaho. Where's that? It's in the United States. All right, not my first choice, but I can work with it. Siblings? Let's see. 2 older and 2 more after this one. Middle child. It's a tough role. No wonder that other applicant bailed out. So you don't want it? Fine. We'll put your request on file and let you know if there's any openings. No, I didn't say I don't want it, just that it might be challenging. I think I can navigate middle child issues. All right. Terry prints up a contract and hands it to me. Oh, hold on, there's a mistake. For gender, they have F. That's not a mistake. This is a placement for a female. You have a problem with that? Yes, I do. Don't you see on my request? I specified elder son. Yeah, but so what? You know you have to play both roles. Of course, I have over and over, but my last 2 lifetimes I was female. And I'm not eager to repeat certain experiences. It's too soon, if you know what I mean. Childbirth. Yeah, come on. It's intense, but only for a matter of hours. Well, Terry, in my lifetime before last, I died in childbirth. And in my last lifetime, when I was 14, my father married me off to a widower who had 4 children. Of course, I got pregnant immediately. So at 15, I was the mother of 5. Sounds hard, but what an opportunity to pay off karma. You think? No. I'll hold out for something cushier. The light, the blinking green light on Terry's monitor changes to a flashing red light, and the screen now reads, emergency action required. Terry slaps a red button next to the files. The button is labeled panic button. Listen, I just notified my supervisor, and if QBF agrees, I'm going to offer you an extremely rare deal. A 2-for-1. 2 what? Credit for 2 lifetimes for living just one. Really? So that would pretty much guarantee that I could finish up my karma in the next lifetime, right? Affirmative. If you complete the placement. A shape is materializing next to Terry's desk. A tall, gorgeous fox with a magnificent tail. The fox is wearing a name tag, Quick Brown Fox, supervisor. There is a quick telepathic exchange between Terry and the fox. Terry prints up a document, terms of 2 for 1. I sign the terms and the contract and hand them back to Terry. Now, Quick Brown Fox is leading me down a hall that has opened behind Terry's desk. As I chat with Quick Brown Fox, I discover that the fox is eons ahead of Terry in spiritual development. And I feel safe enough to ask, did I just make a huge mistake? No, it was a brilliant choice for someone who's in a hurry. Yeah, well, I am in a rush, but I don't know if I can play the role of a female for an entire lifetime. Relax. Things are going to change for human females in the next 80 years. 80 years? Am I going to have to play the role for 80 years in order to get the 2 for 1? Yes, but it will fly by with labor-saving devices and options you've never dreamed of. Quick Brown Fox opens the portal at the end of the hall and helps me across the threshold. The door clangs shut. I'm sucked down a long looping tube and deposited into a padded chair that looks like a oversized catcher's mitt. The fox sends me a telepathic reminder that once I'm born, a veil of forgetting will fall across me, and I won't be able to remember my astral life or my previous lives. But if you need help, you can contact me. We seldom allow this, but since your emergency placements gave you no time to prepare, we'll make an exception. We want you to succeed. Sproing. Now I'm flying toward the earth at supersonic speed. As I approach a small town hospital, I slow down. Now I can see into the delivery room. The woman who's soon to be my mother is panting between contractions. A middle-aged nurse is patting her arm. You're almost there, honey. Now, I know you'll love whichever one you get, but what are you hoping for? My mother says, we already have 2 girls, so we're hoping this one is a boy. Wow. They don't want a girl, and I don't want to be a girl. How is this going to play out? Suddenly, everything goes black, like the film broke or somebody turned off the projector. I feel my astral body condensing into a solid form, into a familiar 60-year-old human body. I feel something on my hand, a paw. Quick Brown Fox is leaning across the table toward me. So, how has it played out?
Hey. Hey.
Good evening. And so this is the second installment of a work in progress. The setting is a convent high school orphanage in which 3 high school students are investigating how a disabled young female student got pregnant. And here we begin. Hey, you guys, check it out, man. I think something's up. Them nuns trying to hide some shit, yo. We gotta be our own detectives and find out the truth. There's a pedophile rapist creep running around here, and we gotta find out who it is. We have to investigate all the suspects. Who would hurt our dear Mary? They can't get away with this. Okay, let's all spread out and see if we can get one of them to confess to doing this to our girl Mary. Tiffany, you go see Father Mulcahy and see what you can get out of him. See if he makes a creepy move on you and try to get something with his fingerprints on him. Oh my God, like totally gross. Ew. Like, why do I have to flirt with that nasty old buzzard? Ew, totes gross. Just be yourself, eh? You don't need to be ratchet or nothing. Just get him to try and say something sexual and creepy. I'm gonna investigate Jose. The gardener dude, he's Latino. So I'll be the best one to interview him. You know, culturally sensitive and shit. Dude, that's like so not fair. Like, you get the young, handsome, Latino, hottie gardener, and I get the creepy old snaggletooth priest. As if. So not fair. Whatever, man. Just do your best job in getting evidence. You know that he might be the creep who got our Mary preggers. We will make sure he suffers in hell for that. Tanya, girl, I think it's best if you interview Mr. Jones, the mailman. Say what? Oh, hell no. Mr. Jones is creepy. Yes. Ew, shut up. As if, no way. Nope, 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 no. Not gonna be around Mr. Jones, hey. He nasty. He hella nasty. Hi, Mr. Jones. How you doing? Oh, look at you. Looking all hella fine in that uniform. Oh, you know that's right. Dang, with all that hella sexy stripe down your pant leg. For real, honey. I loves me a man in a uniform. Hella sexy for real. Look at your fine ass. Yes. Girl, you ain't right. Child, I know your fine ass self gonna find you a baby daddy right quick. Child, I works for Uncle Sam and I earns my government check. And I'm finna retire one day with full-on benefits. I ain't trying to lose all that. You is cute, baby. And that's what you is, a baby. And I ain't trying to get with all that mess. Hell no, baby girl. I got the J-O-B. You is cute, honey child. But don't go messing up your life over some crazy ideas now. Oh, yeah. You need to make something better of yourself and quit trying to be a welfare mama. You better than all that, girl. I know you as smart as a pistol and pretty as a flower. But girl, don't be trying to be no fool with your life and lose yourself over nobody. Tend to your schooling, child, and quit playing. Oh, thanks, Mr. Jones. You's a good man, for real, though. You cute as hell, Mr. Jones. Hi, Father Mulcahy. Oh my God, like it's so weird to see you like in pants and a shirt and not your like dress and cape. Although that's totally rad, okay, for like being up on stage and everything. I beg your pardon. 'Tis not a stage at all, but an altar. And those robes are my vestments for saying the Holy Mass. How can I help you, miss? Well, Father, I was wondering, like, are you wearing pants under your vestments? What kind of question is that? Dear Lord, has everyone lost their morals? What are you even thinking by asking such a thing? Oh my God, like, don't get all defensive and everything, okay? I'm just like curious, you know, what priests go through. Like, you don't even get to have sex or nothing. Like, and you get to hear like about other people's deep, dark sins. I be hearing all kinds of nasty stuff, huh, Padre? Dear girl, such questions, such strange and odd questions. My dear girl, I'm a man inside these clothes. I have eyes and ears and male normalities, but I am a man of my word and devoted to our Lord Jesus Christ as a servant of God. And if my celibacy serves the Lord, although I do not see how, but I guess it's a distraction of sorts, and it's more of a distraction not to have it, you know. And dear God, let me not question your will for me. Amen. Father, like, who are you talking to? Like, are you like cray cray? Dear girl, I am a man. I am a man. I'm a man, just a man. Oh God, I feel like a lesser man, controlling my humanly urges. God, give me strength to rise above this human condition of neediness, to rise to being in resonance with perfection in you and with you. Lord, lead me not into temptation and deliver me from evil doing. Miss Tiffany, we are done here. Okay, Padre, whatever. Thanks. Totally tripping, dude. Hola, guapo. ¿Cómo estás? I brought you some orange juice. Nice and cold. It's so hot today. Ay, papi, you're so hot. I mean, aren't you hot? Don't you want to take off your shirt? Look at you, all tan and buff. Ay, papi, so hot and sweaty. Spicy and delicious. Makes me want to put you in a tortilla and eat you like a taco. Ay, just look at those muscles and smooth brown light skin. Ay, papi, you handsome. I bet all the girls in school drool over your hot body, papi chulo. Oh my God, please stop it. How embarrassing. I'm just here to work for the good sisters. I do some gardening in exchange for a place to sleep and some English lessons con la Sister Agnes. And I get to eat some of the food I grow. Carrot? I'm not interested in the school girls. They're sweet and young, but I like boys better. You what? Ay, Dios mío. You're a gay homo? Oh my gosh, shut up. No way. You're so cute. And you don't even like girls. Oh my God. What a waste. Okay, what did you all get? Who's our resident pedophile? Who messed with our girl Mary? Tanya, what did you find on Mr. Jones? Is he our creep? Girl. He was hella nasty. Creepy, crusty old fart. Telling me how fine I am. Oh, hell no. Child, I don't know how he got in Mary's room, but I know I don't trust him. Okay? He know everybody address and he knows who home and who not. I say that's our man. Let's call the cops so we can arrest his funky ass. Okay? I say he probably the one who did it. He nasty. We ain't safe in our own homes. Oh my God. Like, seriously serious. For real, girl. I think Father Mulcahy is the perp. Yes, queen. He could hardly resist my fine ass, okay? He a pervy pervert for real. And he has total access to Mary's room. And I know he's just as pervy as hell. His eyes were all up on my hot body for sure, creeping me out. Well, hell, I struck out. Jose was not even the least bit interested in looking at these bodacious tatas all up in his face, okay? He was so sweet and respectful and just not into me, girl. He hella gay. We got to get some real evidence on Father and Mr. Jones to hand over to the cops. We'll be heroes for catching a perv. Probably get a reward and make the news. Orphan school heroes. Well, I'm tripping hard, girl. All these creepy perverts running around here putting us all in danger of being molested. I say whoever it is probably gonna come back for more. Okay? So let's set up a stakeout and we'll take turns staying in Mary's room to see who comes in. And we catch him red-handed. Hey, good idea. I'll take the first shift, eh? I'll bring my camera and record the perp for evidence. Oh my God, I'm too scared to catch a pervert. I'll join you, but I'm not staying alone to try to catch no rapist. Tiffany's right, yo. We should not do this alone, yo. What if he's dangerous and creepy? Let's all stay together. Okay, Mary's asleep. Let's go into her room. Tiffany, you stay in the bathtub. Tanya, you stay in the closet. I'll be under the bed with my recorder in case anyone comes in. Girl, it's crowded in that closet. It's 11 o'clock at night and I am going back to my bed. It's late and ain't nobody coming tonight. Shh, I hear somebody coming. Get under the bed with me. Shh, don't make no noise. Mary, wake up. It's me, Jose. Wake up. How are you doing? Oh yeah. I'm so happy. Yes, Mary. I'm so proud of you. You're so amazing. People are believing you, saying you're a virgin. If I was not your baby daddy, I would believe you're a virgin too. It's a good story. But if they find out I'm the baby's father, shit, I could get into a lot of trouble and lose everything I have here, including you. I want to be there when our child is born, but that will blow our story. I'm scared they'll find out the truth. We have to be very careful and very quiet. I love you. I love a baby. Oh, Mary, I want to be a dad so bad. I had a wonderful father, and I want to have my own child to love and respect and help them become a good person. Oh, Mary, this is my dream come true. I could never be with any woman, but you're my best friend. And I love you so much. I want us to give so much love to our baby. I will always be there for both of you. Even after I find my own husband, he has to accept you and my child as my forever family. We can do this. Hang in there, mamacita.
Hey. Hey.
Bravo!
Yay!
Yay! You look fabulous!
Hey.
Stunning. Mm.
She is wearing a straw hat wider than her shoulders. She's seated on the concrete banquette that holds up the pillars of the bank, facing toward the street, intent on something in front of her. She appears to be in her late 70s, early 80s. Oh my God, Sandy, how did you get here? Get a grip, Nancy. Sandy's been dead 3 weeks. In your dreams, it's Sandy. Of course, my cranky Aunt Eastside is right. It can't be Sandy. But now I'm curious about who it is. It might be an elder acquaintance under that hat. So when I get to the end of the banquette, near the entrance to the bank, I cautiously look back at the woman. Now I see that she's intent on a purse that is open on the seat of her walker in front of her. She seems to be pawing at the contents, looking for something. And I also see now that there is a 4-inch whitish band tight around her forehead, up under her hat, maybe to hold it in place. There's something about the thin green coat she's wearing, or this floppy hat, or her pose that makes me concerned about her. But I know she's intent on that purse and she looks calm enough. So I decide I need to go ahead and do my banking. I'm here at the bank to make an in-person deposit because I do not trust AI, because I like conversation and interaction with the tellers. I barely entered the door when a teller motions that she can help me. I'm just handing her my checkbook and the checks when I hear Andrew, the 30-ish age teller to my left, call that he can help the next person in line. I glance back and I see that the woman from the banquette is steadily pushing her walker toward Andrew. I can see that she's not reacting to his call, to his invitation at all. So I'm closer to her. I lean back and I say, "Ma'am, that young man over there can help you." As I turn back to my teller, I hear the squeaky wheels of her walker coming straight toward me. I turn and I bend my 5'10" closer to her 5 feet. Try to make eye contact under that hat. "Ma'am, that kind young man over there, he can help you." I'm happy to see that now she pushes her walker as close to Andrew as she can. She pushes and collapses onto the seat. I need to find my money. I need my money. Hearing that makes me flash on the day that I was out at the ATM. And the screen kept saying, I entered my card, the screen kept saying that I couldn't have any of my money. Tried several times before I gave up and went into the bank. And luckily, Andrew is the young man, the teller I drew. He was very kind, with no condescension to the elderly. And he said, ma'am, you have to use your ATM card out there and not the credit card that you are holding in your hand. He won a big place in my heart that day. But that morning was not as bad as the afternoon when I was totally exhausted and suddenly couldn't remember my PIN number. I had to go out to the car, to the privacy after I locked the door, of peering into my purse to find where I have that kind of information hidden away. So those experiences and that fear of not being able to access my own money makes me very concerned for this woman and interested in the outcome. I see Andrew push a paper toward her, and I hear him say, ma'am, can you write your name here, please? It's not too many minutes. And I hear him say, I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't have an account for you. Have you tried the other banks? Savings Bank, Chase? I see that she tries to rise and get even closer to him and moans as she sits back down. I never thought I'd end up like this. My son has all my money. See my empty purse? I don't have any money. I have to find my money. I'm glad my transaction is over because this conversation is making me very nervous. I leave without glancing back at Andrew or the woman. And as I walk to my car, the refrain, I never, there but for the grace of God, could go I, is running through my head. I think that she looks 15 to 20 years older than I, but the way shit can happen in a few seconds, she could be closer to my age than I want to think. And lately, I have been getting way too many at your age comments from my eye doctor, my dentist, my hand surgeon, all of them reminding me that I have a lot less sand at the top of my hourglass than at the bottom. And navigating that is not going to be easy. So I keep hearing, I never thought I'd end up like that, running through my head as I get to my car. How many times have I said that? When I was 60 and Floyd, my husband of 24 years, was going into early onset dementia, every day I said, I never thought, 24 years, I never thought we'd end up like this. And when he died, and I was a widow at 64 years old, alone, without him, I just kept saying, I never thought I'd end up like this, so young. And 6 years later, when Floyd's and my very precious dog Shadow died, I wailed again. I never thought I'd end up like this, alone and still so young. As I sit there, I suddenly glance and see that the woman with the hat is pushing her walker across the entrance to the parking lot. Maybe I should go up to her quietly and offer her some money. Maybe I could help her. And you know what, Floyd, who knew you better than you know yourself, you know what Floyd would be saying? It's never worked before, sweet pea. Mind your own business and leave the poor old lady alone. Floyd's right. I decide to leave her to her devices and go back into the bank and give kudos to Andrew for how very kind he was to that woman. Thank you, says, it was tough, but I was happy when, sad as she looked, she said that she was going to go up the 2 blocks to City Hall. She remembered it's up there and she said maybe they could help her. Oh, happy to hear that, Andrew. And in this small town, if she's lucky, maybe she'll see someone she knows or someone who knows that son she's talking about. Maybe they'll help her find her. He could be out looking for her right now. But even with this little bit of hope about City Hall, I obsess with her as I'm driving home. I can't think of a worse fate than ending up like that. Maybe she didn't eat enough vegetables. Maybe she didn't know to eat the leafy kind. They can be healthier for you. Maybe she didn't do yoga. That can be really good as you age. Maybe she didn't do enough exercise at all. And maybe she didn't do hard crossword puzzles. Maybe she ate too much sugar her whole life. And maybe Miss Carpe Diem. None of that matters at all. You can eat all the vegetables you want, leafy or not. And you can exercise 10 hours a day and do all the hard brain puzzles you want. And you know very well that that will not get any guarantee that you won't end up just like that woman at the bank. Focusing on her, worrying about her situation, and obsessing on these 7 friends you've lost these 2 months. All of it is just avoiding your own situation. You're growing old with no son and no daughter, no family anywhere in sight. You're going to have to navigate your own path as your hourglass runs dry. You're getting old, you're going to die just like your friends. So get over it. Well, Miss Cranky Annie's sidekick, not all of them were old. Our stepdaughter Jill was only 51 years old. And Deborah, who died in her sleep alone with no health complications at all, she was only 60. And Jeannie and Rachel were just 70. That's not old. Death has nothing to do with age. And it's not as easy and simple as you're trying to make it. It's a bitch, actually. So I just don't think you have one sentimental bone in your whole body. And I don't think you have one bone that's not sentimental. I kind of think you're like wallowing in all this sorrow. You preach carpe diem, but I think it's like an amulet that you rub and nurture, hoping that it will keep you from dying young. And I'm here to tell you that you can carpe diem and suck all the joy you want out of today, and it won't keep you alive tomorrow morning if your number's up. I know that you know that up here, but you haven't let it sink to your gut. You haven't really taken it in. Just like I don't think you've taken in all that wisdom of the teachers that you tell. They haven't taken that into your bone and guts either. What about Jesus and Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Rabbi Heschel and Bell Hooks and her words that love drives out fear? So why aren't you doing a better job with your own love and the love of your teachers to drive away the fear that you might end up penniless like that woman at the bank? You have got to get back on track and take care of your own path. It's pretty embarrassing when I have to use the words of Annie, Cranky Annie, to get me back on track, but she is right. I've just felt like it was an avalanche of all these friends dying one after another in 6 weeks. And I know that I did. I'm sure I cried too much. And I know she's right. Joy would be a lot better way than sorrow to honor my lost friends, and my deceased teachers. I do need to get back on a better Carpe Diem track. Remembering, I know just what she said, it will not keep me alive, but it'll make me a lot happier and a lot happier for the people around me. I do need to do more to work for peace and for love around me. And I can enjoy all the friends I do have alive. And maybe I can do something to make the world a better place, the little piece of the world that I have around me. And maybe, just maybe, if I do some little piece of all that, if I ever do end up with an empty purse and a walker in front of an Andrew, maybe some little tiny part of me will be able to remember that I did do what I could for the world and that I did try to suck all the juiciness out of my one little life. Yeah, that sounds just great, Miss Carpe Diem, but what you're missing is you don't know a thing about that little woman's life. For all you know, she Carpe Diemed every second of her life. And maybe she had lots of friends that she enjoyed too. And maybe she worked hard for peace and justice. And maybe she did exercise and eat vegetables. And maybe she worked hard to save her money so she could have a safe old age. That would be the explanation for why she was so plaintive when she said, I never thought I'd end up like this. I'm tired of you smart aleck Annie thinking that you're always going to get the last word. But right now, I'm going to Carpe Diem and I'm taking the last word. You know, you're right. I have no control over my future, but I can appreciate my past and I can revel in my present. And I'm lucky enough to be able to say that my past was very fortunate and happy, and that my present is full of joy and grace and creativity. And I'm going to say that I am just fun ending up like this.
Yay. Yay. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thanks everybody for coming to the march tonight. And I want to thank all the performers tonight and have a good night.